And we both had very similar experiences, though we didn't know each other at the time, with postpartum.
Yep.
And we both had preeclampsia.
Oh,
postpartum
God. Can you
preeclampsia.
believe we both had that? It's so rare.
It's so rare.
And so scary.
And so scary.
Meghan Markle is getting candid. In the debut episode of her new Confessions of a Female Founder podcast, which dropped April 8th, the Duchess of Sussex sat down with Bumble founder Whitney Wolfe Herd and revealed that both she and Herd have experienced postpartum preeclampsia.
And we both had very similar experiences, though we didn't know each other at the time, with postpartum.
Yep.
And we both had preeclampsia.
Oh,
postpartum
God. Can you
preeclampsia.
believe we both had that? It's so rare.
It's so rare.
And so scary.
And so scary. And you go, and you're still trying to juggle all of these things, and the world doesn't know what's happening quietly. And in the quiet, you're still trying to show up for people. And in the quiet, you're still just trying to show up mostly for your children.
Yeah.
But those things are huge medical scares.
I mean, life or death. Truly.
The entrepreneur then commented on how she was in disbelief that Meghan and Prince Harry showed son Archie to the world 2 days after he was born in 2019, following in royal tradition.
I mean, I'll never forget the image of you after you delivered Archie and the whole world was like waiting for his debut. And like I was, either just becoming or about to become a new mom. And I was like, oh my God, how is this woman doing this? Like, how is this woman putting on heels and going and debuting a child in this, beautiful outfit in front of the entire world? Like, I could barely face a doorbell delivery for takeout food, like in a robe. I was like, please don't look at me. Leave it down the street.
Can I be back in my cocoon?
The two women also discussed how they became moms in a post-pandemic world, with Meghan sharing how it's allowed her to become more accessible to her children as she works from home, especially to her 3-year-old daughter, Lilibet.
I don't know if it's nature or nurture. I think you also have to layer in the fact that we became moms in this post-pandemic culture too, where there's so much more working from home. And I wonder if it would feel different. Like, yes, you'll still travel for work, as will I. But I wonder if I don't leave the house to go to an office. My office is here.
Right.
So oftentimes, Lily still naps. She gets picked up early and she naps, and she only has a half day in preschool.
Right.
So if she wakes up and she wants to find me, she knows where to find me. Even if my door is closed to the office, she'll be sitting there on my lap during one of these meetings with a grid of all the executives, and here we are. And I think, that could have something to do with it. But also, I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't want to miss those moments. I don't want to miss pickup if I don't have to. I don't want to miss drop off. And
I don't either.
And I think what I do love the most about having young kids in this chapter while I'm building is the perspective that it brings. Mm-hmm. Because you're building something while your child's going through potty training.
Yeah, you're like, hold on, sorry. We're having multiple accidents around here.
And both are just as important.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, great, okay, where's the Cheerios? Well done. And then you're championing your team 10 minutes later about something that is really high value for the world. But in your own world, that's super high value. And in her world, that's super high value.
Earlier in the episode, the tech founder also told Meghan how she sympathized with her as she watched the Duchess face media scrutiny, calling it brutalizing.
When I see the way that, you've been treated in the media, which is a magnitude I'll never understand, but my heart breaks for you. I'm like, it's not fair and it's brutalizing. And so.
Well, and maybe because you understand it in whatever degree, you know how to show up for me.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, listen, I honestly, I can't imagine, but I can't, because what has happened to you is at such a magnitude that no one can understand. Can I share the story of where I had that revelation when I was walking through the airport in Ireland?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I stopped through the airport in Ireland and I walked over by whatever their equivalent of like a W.H. Smith or whatever those Hudson
newsstand.
News are. Yes. And my jaw hit the floor. You were the cover of every single magazine and newspaper in Ireland. And every single one said something different. I mean, random headline. You were the cover of every single one of those magazines, tabloids, and newspapers. And I had this moment where I was like,
And this was a couple years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, what? Like, I'm in Ireland. She's back home in California with her kids, like doing school drop off. And she's the front page of every single one of these things. What are they talking about? Like, there's no content. There's nothing to say. So, I mean, I just had this moment where I was like, wow, this is a different beast. I mean,
but it doesn't feel different, whether it's at that scale or not.
No, but I do think there is so much to be said for your ability to exist even in the presence of that. Like, that takes a very strong cookie, you know, because I remember when I was going through the media storm and being called this and that and this and that at Tinder, I didn't leave my house for like a month and a half. I was completely paranoid. I was totally depressed. I was scared to go to the grocery store. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to go to a party where I'd see anyone because
you wondered if they believed it.
Yeah, what are they thinking about me? They must think I'm a this. They must think I'm a that. And so I like shrunk into this shell of myself where
we turtle.
Yeah, I just turtled. I was like, wow, I'm never going outside again. I'll just live, I'll just live in my own isolated world. But then I decided, I was like, I'm going to rebuild myself.
The Duchess of Sussex had announced her new podcast in an Instagram post on March 13th, sharing at the time, "I've been having candid conversations with amazing women who have turned dreams into realities and scaled small ideas into massively successful businesses. They're opening up, sharing their tips, tricks, and tumbles, and letting me pick their brains as I build out my own business, as ever. It has been absolutely eye-opening, inspiring, and fun, because what's the point if we can't have some fun on this wild adventure?"